What is the precious commodity that we have? Actually, it's land. It's space. Describing SLA in 4 words, when I came on board 2 years ago, the vision of SLA is limited land, unlimited space. And it's very apt for Singapore. We are a very small country, 730 square kilometers, limited by land. But it's really our imagination to see what kind of spaces can be created from the little land that we have. And I thought that's a very interesting paradox. And that's the vision that we continue to grow or push ourselves within SLA to find what are the different uses for spaces that we have in the little country that we have in Singapore. It's about trying to fulfill different requirements, trying to push ourselves to have unlimited imagination. And I think what's more important is also that not just for economic development, but social and community purposes is really important as well. And I think today we are here in 100 Henderson. This is a very good living example of how spaces can be created for different parts of life, different pockets of the people that are living here within the compound of 100 Henderson Road. My name is Colin, the Chief Executive of Singapore Land Authority, or SLA in short. I joined in April 2021. For myself, the call came. I thought it was really interesting. Why I say that? Because if I juxtapose to the role that I have had prior to this, I was running a REIT. REIT, R-E-I-T, stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. And I was running a hospitality REIT. So when the call came, I thought it's quite interesting. I never thought about this. I would never imagine being considered for the role. But I thought that 20 years later, if I look back now where a call came, if I had this opportunity to work with wonderful colleagues within SLA to hopefully have a hand in shaping how things are run across the country, I think it's such an honor in that sense to have this. And that's why I responded. Because I was from the private sector, I brought my colleagues out to meet different people, the F&B guys, the social spaces, the sustainability hub elements, the tech people as well. Go out into the market, so much so that the more you understand what the needs are on the ground, the better you appreciate what is needed. We started a series of brown bag lectures where we get private sector folks to come in to talk to the SLA colleagues. That gives my colleagues a different stance, a different sense of what is happening on the ground in the F&B space. What's happening in Singapore? What is the next big thing in Singapore? So it's about bringing people together in different ways beyond our kind of perimeters or the box that we are in. Yeah, there are very much 3 verticals that we are doing within SLA. The very first vertical is land and properties. As the custodian of state properties across Singapore, the role that we play is fairly crucial. When there is land that is not used by economic agencies or other public sector agencies like for schools, for army camps and so on and so forth, or when leases expire, these properties come back to us, the state. And if there are no immediate redevelopment plans by the URAs, Urban Redevelopment Authority, then that's where SLA comes in. The role that we play for land and properties is to see how best to optimize those spaces. Again, not for economic use, but social and community purpose. So we actually divide this space into 3 different spaces. Childcare, an elderly care, a dialysis center. And in the middle, as we have right now, which is a community farming, rent-a-plot farming by City Sprouts. And I think the model is very interesting. We also have shop houses, we have disused school buildings, we have got the iconic properties like Old Kallang Airport, Pasir Panjang Power Station, the Tanjong Pagar Railway Station. We are not solely economically driven. I mentioned disused school buildings, and here we are right now, 100 Henderson. I think this is a prime example of how disused school buildings can be used. The second vertical, which is more regulatory in nature, we are the National Land and Property Registration Authority. So if you have bought or sold a property in Singapore, be it residential or commercial, we are the guarantor of caveats, and that's the regulatory role that SLA plays. The third vertical that a lot of people may not know is that SLA is the geospatial agency of Singapore. Geospatial, the word sounds very scientific, but actually it's really not. is all about location technology. SLA has the various data, and then we provide this data framework or data bank in turn to the other users, be it URA, when they try to plan Singapore in a different way. A lot of people may not realize we have actually a 3D, three-dimensional digital twin of Singapore created already. You see the physical Singapore, you have a 3D digital twin. The public sector agencies like the planners can look at a 3D version of Singapore and think about how do you plan new town hubs or new buildings in a very creative way that allows for better planning. Thankfully, the various work stints that I've had in different industries, be it in Singapore, in London where I was placed, getting like-minded people together. In the destination that I have right now, you're meeting different people from different walks of life. How do you match needs together? And the greatest joy, and then my colleagues will bear testimony to that as well, is that when an idea gets birthed from the various connections that you have had, that's what I find, I get most sense of satisfaction and enjoyment in birthing things. Sometimes you never know what you're going to get, some may fail, but never mind, you at least you know a friend, you have known something, you know what failed, right? And the next time you try something, you take the learning points and see how you can improvise further. COVID has demonstrated that people are social creatures. You need to come together and ideate and come up with things creatively. So how can we look at space in more ways than one? To me, as SLA Chief Executive, if you can do more of this kind of things, getting community involvement, getting intergenerational interaction, I think that's wonderful.